Well, hey there. Welcome to the Pawpaw Chronicles and More with Jim. I wanted to come out here and talk to you about a posting I seen uh, in the Facebook group Pawpaw Chronicles. Somebody had posted that they had dug up some root suckers and then went back the following year where the root suckers came from, tasted the fruit, and he said the fruit was bad. And that very well may have been the issue. Some folks may have thought that maybe the individual ate a fruit that wasn't completely ripe. That may be, but it was wild. Such is this tree. It is a wild pawpaw, aka a seedling. Don't know what the parentage is. Brief history. 2014, family member brought the tree here. I planted it here, and in 2018 it produced fruit for the first time. The year before that, the central leader started suffering, and I've seen some growth coming out from the bottom. So I tried to do something about that, and you can see all of it down there in the bottom, what had happened. I allowed that to grow to try to save this tree. Now, the tree produced fruit in 2018 for the first time. And it tasted okay, but the aftertaste was bitter. And each year it did produce fruit. And each year it was the same scenario. It had a good flavor, but the aftertaste was just a little bit bitter. I scoured the ground around it, put amenities into the ground to try to snap this tree out of whatever it was going through back in 2016, 2017. I believe it was 2017. And as I explained, the growth that came off the side of the main central part of the tree. I elected to go ahead and allow this tree to grow because I have other pawpaws. The tree does produce flowers, and it offered up flower pollen to this tree here, a sunflower that I had grafted. But anyways, last year we didn't have any fruit. We had a late freeze, and it just knocked the production out of the picture throughout the entire region. This year we had a late heavy frost, and a lot of flowers got taken out, but this one here was loaded with fruit, sunflower, and this one here had fruit throughout the tree. But something that I had noticed this year about the fruit in this tree compared to previous years, it still had that good sweet taste, but it did not have that bitter aftertaste. Now, one of the things that I will tell you that I believe happened with this tree, and I'm a firm believer in foliage feeding and fertilizing your trees. Last year I started a regimen of foliage feeding all of my pawpaw trees, and I included this one in on that process. And then this year I ate that fruit, and it never left a bitter aftertaste. In fact, I took a couple of fruits down to the Pawpaw Festival with the idea of entering it into the taste contest. But I didn't understand the rules and only had 2 fruits. You had to have 3. With that being said, I had a friend that tried it, and he said, "Man, you ought to be grafting that." And I suggested no. And the reason being is although the fruit tasted great, it didn't have an aftertaste. If I was to cut scion out of this tree and started trying to graft it and promote it, and people take it home and they don't give it the same treatment that I gave it, and the fruit begins to bear and that bitter aftertaste comes out, well, then that's an X factor. Oh, don't go with that one. That and there's bad. Well, and that's because a lot of people aren't going to do what I've learned to do, and that's foliage feed and fertilize. feed your trees. That's my biggest thing. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and leave this tree alone. I'm not going to take it out. As a matter of fact, as time goes on, as time went on, it produced a few root suckers, in which I did not harvest, although I do have one over by the old chicken coop that's over 5.5 foot tall that came up this year, and I'm going to graft into that. It's been cut loose from this parent tree. But that being said, the feeding of your trees makes a difference. Now, the individual that tried the fruit in the wild, maybe there's something in the wild that tree was missing that would cause that fruit to have a bad taste, or maybe it just wasn't completely ripe. We don't know. We can only assume. But I believe that when the nutrients are offered up to these trees, they bring the chances of that flavor of being better than what it would be in its natural environment. Give the tree everything that it needs. And there you have my opinion. The difference between good fruit and bad fruit, good trees and bad trees. What is it that makes them bad, and what is it that could possibly make them a better fruiting tree? There's a number of combinations that could be going on. I will tell you this, of all the trees that are on the property, especially in the fall, this is one of the prettiest trees, even in the summer. It's a beautiful tree in the landscape of my property. Anyhow, I'm going to go down here and check on another tree and see how the fruit is doing in it. I'm waiting patiently. My name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Any comments or questions that you may have, I welcome. Y'all have a God bless day.